Good evening, and you're all very, very welcome here tonight. This is our fourth night, and everyone has turned up so far. That's the cast. We have avoided that red quota so far, so fingers crossed. It's our third year, it's 3 years since we were on stage, so we are absolutely delighted. We were ready to roll 2 years ago, and we had to pull the plug, and everybody here is just delighted to be back. And it's even more important that we're back with a full crowd for 4 nights, sold out really for 4 nights. We had a few cancellations because of a local funeral there this evening, and that's to be expected, you know. So we're delighted that everyone has come out and that you have put yourself in a position to come out, which is most important for us. Just a couple of house rules. We have emergency doors, the door you came in, the door on my right down there, and the toilets are over at that section as well. Okay, the emergency door out here, and there's another emergency door over there. The other thing is, if you have a mobile phone, will you make sure it's turned off? Okay? We have been blessed so far. I don't think we have one mobile phone we need for 4 nights. So don't start tonight. Okay. A big thank you to our sponsors tonight. We have some fabulous sponsors, and we'll be selling the last of the tickets there at the door at the break. Okay? And thank you for your support. But we'd like to thank Eugene Cooney, Father Brendan, Reflections Hair Salon, the Country Market, the Powerhouse, Liam O'Mara, Vaughan Supply, Kerricus Veterinary Service for their spot prizes tonight, and very appreciative of it. And a big thank you to our patrons for a long number of years. That's Kathleen and Sandra Leno, who have been extremely generous and have always been very helpful to us. We have some props here, and again we're thankful to some people, to Siobhan in the Garden Centre, to Vaughan Supply, Martin Rochford, Mary Klein, Eugene Cooney, and Paul Donlan in Super Value. And a big thank you to the Country Market, who cancelled today, that we really had to reroute everything here this evening, and we're very grateful to them. So, tonight we have Big Maggie by John B. Keane. It's set in 1963, and that's why you're hearing some 60s music there, and if you really recognise it, it was a great time for music down the 60s. So it is 1963 in Ireland, and it's a play with a most unusual theme, because it's a play about a will, about property, and about land. I don't think a play was ever written about any of it. And it's a play about love, and it's a play about lack of love, and it's a play about lost love. Now, we enjoy doing this play. We've been doing it for the last number of months, and we've had great crack, and we've had a huge cast for it. They all wanted to be out there on the stage, which was great. Now, just to explain, after about 15 minutes, there will be about a 5-minute break. It's just so that we can change the scene. That's the only scene change in the whole play, and it happens after about 15 minutes. And after that, the play will run for about 50, and then we have a break for about 15 minutes. And the second half of the show is the shortest section. It's about a half an hour. Okay? So don't get off your seats after the first 15 when you see people moving around. We just have to change the set. Is that okay? So listen, sit back, enjoy, and we're delighted to have you all here tonight. Okay?
your troubles, Maggie. He was a good man. God be good to him.
He was. He was a good man, Maggie. If he'd have failing, it was a failing many has.
He had a speedy release. God be good to him, and that's a lot.
That was a blessing, Maggie. Well, he went quick and that's the way he wanted it. It was a blessing. Worse if he was after spending 6 or 7 months lying in a sick bed.
It was a lot, all right. And make no mistake, we all can't go the way we like.
No, we can't.
You may say we can't, but there's no one can.
He was a cheerful sort of a man, Maggie. Oh, cheerful is the word. he was just turned 60.
Well, he didn't get a bad share of it.
We never saw 60, Maggie.
And a lot never will. We must be thankful for all things that accept the holy will of God.
Oh, we must indeed. Well, I won't be holding you up if you're in a hurry.
I know, Maggie, you want your own about you at a time like this. But I was wondering, would you know where Madge Gibbon is buried? There's no stone over her.
I've no idea. She wasn't one grave as good as another. Just a thought that counts, you know. Will you not go over and lay on the reeds? I won't. But mother, oh, don't look me now like a good girl. I mean, no humour for it. I just thought it's the correct thing to do. Sure, you're not old enough to know what is correct or what is not correct. God forgive me, there's two things I can't do but bear. And it's the likes of them, two caterwauling about the dead. And the other is the tug of clods and a timber coffin. I couldn't bear to watch them gang around the trench and they're trying to look sorry. Can I go over and lay on? No, let your brothers and sister do that. It isn't the reeds will do him any good. Mother, how can you say a thing like that? It's the truth. God forgive me, it's a hard thing to say about my own husband, but it's what they'll be saying at the pub after the funeral. It's what everyone knows. But I'm no trained mourner yet. I can't all go on and mourn or look for the arm of another hypocrite to support me. He was no saint, but he was my father. I'm going over to the grave. You stay where you are. I've enough to contend with without my lungs wanting to desert me in my hour need. Call Byrne there, he's in the verge of the crowd somewhere. Mr. Byrne! Mr. Byrne! Katie's got the reeds in her arms. She's left to do everything. She's the only one he'd any time for. He liked them sunset. She was all that. She'll be knocked out for another. I promise you that.
Sorry for your trouble, Maggie. You okay, miss?
Oh, you look at all, Byrne. Now, I want a 6-foot-high limestone monument, 3 feet across and 3 inches thick. You will start tomorrow.
Oh, it isn't customary.
What isn't?
They generally wait 3 months before they put up the stone.
And is it they'll be paying you, or Big Maggie Palpin?
Oh, I don't know if I can do it tomorrow. I have to make a start on a Celtic cross for Fancy McNeil.
How long is Fancy dead now?
Oh, than 14 months now. Why?
Well, seeing as he's waited so long, he can wait another few days.
I don't know. It is commissioned as a while.
Suit yourself. If you want to do it, Cornelius Green will do it for me.
All right. I make a start tomorrow, so.
Right. How much will it be?
Oh, it is hard to say offhand. There's a lot of things to be taken into consideration.
6 feet by 3 feet by 3 inches. You aren't a schoolboy.
6 foot by 3 foot by 3. What's a quarter of 18 feet?
4.5 feet. In the honour of God, you will hurry up. It isn't a supermarket we're putting over them.
I don't know what I'm going to.
You won't bother.
I couldn't do it for a penny less than £70.
£60.
Sorry?
Cash.
I know.
On the nose.
Materials is very dear, you know.
£60 now.
All right.
She's all there, Bob.
Oh, I know that. I know what's wrong, you man.
The day you wrong me, Bob, is the day you get me pregnant.
All the birds, big and small, couldn't do that. They wouldn't do it. They need a softer stone than you, Maggie.
Here's what you'll inscribe in it. It's all there.
Walter Palpin died March 23rd, 1963, aged 60 years, R.I.P. Does anything make out that?
I don't know if it was me.
No charge from little extra, fill it out a bit.
That's the lot. 'Tis all made out.
For me to say no, missus, but they're generally put erected by his loving wife and family, or by his devoted wife and family, or some such thing along those lines.
That's a fact. Well, Barney, there's enough life written on the headstones of Ireland.
I've known moderate men that died, Maggie, and they were sorely missed.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Oh, one last thing. What way do you want to stall face it?
Are I lazy about that? Oh, so long as it don't face me. Didn't I know? You couldn't hit a person that much. What's going to happen now? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is call a meeting, and this will be the right choir meeting. There'll be no proposing or seconding. I've a shop and a farm to run, and they're going to be run profitably or not run at all.
Oh, come off it, there has to be money.
Is there now?
Wasn't he insured for thousands?
You get a bit too forward for my liking. You turn out like your father if you're not careful.
That's not fair. I always took your side in everything.
Here you did, because you had to.
You're rotten.
You know why you prefer Katie to you.
And you too.
How dare you speak like that to your mother? I could paint a picture of your late lamented father that'll really shock you. But this is one place I'm not going to be buried, I can tell you that. I'll fix a chorley too. The earth is a hard enough big with a big push like these.
It was a bloody big funeral.
They were there from the city of Limerick,
And for me,
and there was a carload from Cork.
a man with a Dublin accent shook hands with me.
Did you fix with the grave figures?
Oh, 'tis all settled.
And the undertaker?
Paid in full. Here's the receipt.
The honor of God, will you tie your eyes and stop making a show of yourself?
Entitled to cry. My father is dead.
'Tis long before this you should have cried for him.
Maybe I did.
Ha, your bladders near your eyes, I'm thinking.
Oh, easy, lecturer. We'll be noted.
We're not as long ago, Morris. Maybe the two of you will turn into men now. Long enough he stood back from him.
That's not fair.
What about the times he regarded her?
You were no men, you didn't haul out and level him.
He was a big man.
Wasn't there two of you?
Leave me out of it. I was never a man to come between a husband and wife, let alone my father and mother.
Ye let him abuse me.
You were well able for him. Anyone that abused you wound up second in the long run.
Isn't like it from home.
It was never a home, Ma.
Your father saw to that.
Come on, for the love of God. We haven't stopped squawking at each other since he died.
Maybe now that he's gone, we might turn into some sort of a family again.
That's a terrible thing to say.
Oh, you were always great at ignoring the dirt under your feet.
I noticed a very courageous line of chatter. Now that he's safely out of the way.
I'm warning you, Mr. Hold your tongue. There's a few changes coming shortly that mightn't altogether appeal to you.
The king is dead.
Long live the king. Ha, that's right. Say your piece, because believe you me, there's a time coming when you won't have so much to say for yourself.
And what are you going to do? Lock me in, is it?
Oh, there'll be no need for that. You were always used to the good times. We'll see what you're like when the good times are taken from you.
This is a terrible way to be conducting ourselves out here in public.
All right, come on away, we've a shop to open.
You're not going to open the shop today, surely to God.
Why not?
It's only after being buried.
You're not another word out to you. Come on, out of here.
There's a problem.
Oh, it's Crawford's traveller.
Nice time of the day to turn up for a funeral.
I had to break a journey to get here. It was completely by accident I heard it. I was on my way to Limerick and I put in to get some petrol and the next minute the attendant is telling me, Walter Palpin is dead. I couldn't believe it. Katie. I'm sorry.
I know that, Terry. But it was nice of you to come.
The least I could do. Gert,
Thank you, Tim.
Dad, will you take this?
Thanks.
I'm sorry again, Mrs. Potter.
No.
If I had known, I'd have dropped everything to be here in time. If there's anything I can do, anything at all, don't hesitate to ask.
We better be going.
Oh, I have the car. I can bring some of you down.
I could go with you, Teddy.
So would I, but that's if there's room for the two of us, Teddy.
There's plenty of room.
No. You go with your brothers, and I'll go with Gert and Mr. Heelan. I have a few matters to settle in town. That's if you don't mind waiting a few moments while I look after my affairs, Mr. Heelan.
All day.
Oh, that's settled then. Let's get out of here.
I'm not sure I care too much for that fella.
Shut up. You're just jealous of him.
They say he's a right horse, master.
I would know about that.
There's no sign of her anywhere.
Maybe isn't here she's buried at all.
We can't find Maggie Gibbons' grave.
Ask Mr. Byrne. He knows all about the graves around here.
Thank you, miss. We'll do that.
And don't forget to say a prayer for my father when you're praying for Madge Gibbons.
There's no doubt but he left a mighty queer little behind him.
Good evening, folks.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Borden. Fine funeral considering.
Yes, consider.
They say he left her comfortable.
Oh, there's no shock to Jimmy Cash. That shop is doing a good trade, and that's as good a farm of land as ever threw up a cow.
He's a hard man, though, God be good to him.
And there was plenty harder, but they got away with it. It was a man island. She was wrongful. She married him for the security.
They say he was fond of a woman now and again.
And by the way, you weren't.
Who's without a fault, sir?
He got his own way always, and that's what happened. He had the money and he had the appearance. And when you have those, you get the opportunities. Still, he was a man I liked. She was wrongful. Another woman would have made a better fish to him. It is a mistake to find fire with fire.
They say he drank a bit too.
Oh, a bottle of whiskey before the breakfast was not of it.
Whiskey and women is sure invices for a funeral.
I must the worst of it.
You must admit now, he shared a most noble share of likely men.
Didn't I see his black head and strong jaw on several occasions? Maggie couldn't keep a servant girl in the house.
Is that a fact?
She's gone. There was no standing there with that man.
God knows he left a hard woman behind him.
She was all right at first. It was the world happened her. I knew her and she a handsome girl. But she'd no great love for him. He was a good catch at the time.
Ooh, she's no sack of oats now.
Oh, God, Mr. No. She's well preserved all right. You can't deny that.
What did you turn, though, from a fine woman like that?
Wish and Mrs. Will you tell me what turns them off? I've known honest men and upright men, sane men and sober men, and every single one of them, sooner or later, was betrayed by that little rogue of a Dickie.
Oh, she's a hard life for an honest man.
Oh, did God know what he was doing or didn't he?
God knew.
Right you are. Where does that leave us?
Well, as wise as ever, I do often say to myself, why do people find it so hard to kiss goodbye to this goddamn world of pain and ache and puke?
Robbery, hypocrisy, and murder from one end of the dead to the next.
Life is the grimmest lord of all, my friends.
Mr.
The interest is too high indeed.
The cross of man life is.
It would be time for it to be 11 and so.
Listen here to me. Yes. What you know how Maggie Gibbons is buried?
Which Maggie Gibbons had that been now? Was it Maggie Gibbons that was tactic to Donald Summers? Or was it Maggie Gibbons that was the housekeeper to the Kenneth McIntosh, the Protestant?
That's the Protestant's housekeeper.
Madge Gibbons, the Protestant. Well now, If you look down there in the left-hand corner, you will see a wild rose bush. There's a cypress alongside. Madge is wedged between the two.
Oh, no, we must say a prayer for the man that just put under. I fancy he won't be getting many.
Well, I'll be here most of the days, and you could count on one hand the number that comes to say a prayer. But the man that went under today has no more prayers to get. And by the look of the widow, she won't be thinking about afterlife until she's about into it.
So long, so.
Oh, good look, good look, good look. Limestone, 6 foot by 3 foot by 3 inches. 'Tis a respectable block of stone. 'Twill be there when he's forgotten, and 'twill be there when he's rotten. And may the Lord have mercy on the poor man's immortal soul.
And she loved me just the same. And when my day
I can't wait to hear all.
I wish I could be so cheerful.
I suppose she's going to tell us now.
She can't keep us waiting much longer.
Well, you can compose yourself for a while, but I want to advise you, there's going to be plenty of changes. Oh, can I have one too? Oh. Oh.
Is it fair to ask if there was a will?
You keep your shop tight. I'll go all in a minute. All right, sit down. Did you pay the workmen? Their pays. Is all the cash there? Yes. And the receipts? What's the matter? Don't you trust me? I trust no. Do you mean I'm dishonest? Well, I've never met anyone who admitted being dishonest, so I couldn't discuss that with you. Now, did you all listen carefully, as it concerns each of you? Nick, you asked just now if there was a will. Well, there wasn't.
Impossible.
There was no will.
There has to be a will. He always promised me.
Promised you what?
Nothing.
More than me, maybe.
I didn't say that.
Now, there'll be no will. That puts me in charge, which is only as it should be.
Well, if there's no will, how can it all be yours? We're all entitled to our share.
There is no will, because a year ago your father signed the place over to me.
What?
I don't believe you.
Well, if you don't, ring up the solicitor and see what he's to say.
You're bluffing.
Leave the phone there. You don't believe me, you believe Darcy.
Could my father do a thing like that?
Why tell lies? Why? Come on. You don't know me long enough and you're quick enough to criticise. Speak up, one of you.
No.
Do I? Tell lies.
No.
Right. This time last year, your father and I had a talk, and he agreed to sign over the place to me. He had good reason to.
Did you blackmail him?
You learned to bite that tongue of yours when I had a minute to deal with you, and that'll be sooner than you think.
I asked you a question.
And you'll get the answer. I got no more than my rights. I brought £1,000 fortune when I came here, and I've slaved here for 25 years, and I don't think any of you here will deny that. Unless, of course, you'd like to put your spoke in.
You've nothing to say.
Good.
All right then. How much did he leave anyway?
Death duties, that's what he left. Enough to keep me struggling for years to come.
But what are we going to get out of it?
Oh, get nothing out of it naturally. Well, not yet anyway. You will roof over your head, you've good food, and you have plenty of pocket money.
Pocket money? You must be mad if you think I'm going to stay here for pocket money. Pocket money is for kids. If I'm going to stay here, I want me share. It was all understood that the farm would be divided between myself and Morris.
Understood by who? It wasn't understood by me.
You better get it clear here, Mother. I'm not going to be a servant by any longer. This farm is to be divided, and equally divided, with cattle, machinery, working capital, together with dwelling house and outhouses.
Obviously, you've been talking to someone who never pick up all that by yourself.
Well, are you a rotten?
Am I Or haven't I what?
Go to divide the farm.
Oh, I'd have to see Mick.
You'll see right now, I'm not going to be fobbed off by any of your promises.
Mick, I'm in no position to guarantee anything to anybody.
In that case, you can look for someone else to run the farm. I'm resigning. Are you coming, Morris? I'm going, Mother.
Well, you know how to turn the knob and door by.
Are you coming, Morris?
Morris, you're spoken to.
Morris, for the last time.
He won't go. He hasn't the guts of a louse.
Morris?
I'm saying nothing. We've had enough fighting for one day.
Not so to farm.
Damn you!
Go off to bed now, like a cookie boy. Off to bed.
My father is a lucky man to be free of you. I'm beginning to have sympathy for him now.
He'll be back. He knows where his rations come from. Well, Forrest, have you anything to say?
Yes, I have.
Well, out with it. No time like the present.
I want to get married.
You do.
Yes, I do.
And do I know the lady of your choice?
I know her. She's Mary Madden from Knockalining.
Dan Madden's daughter, is it?
Yes.
Or sit down by. How many cows does Dan Madden? 15 or 16, is it?
Yes.
And now you've 10 other children to provide for.
Yes, you have your facts.
And where do you expect to live?
Why, here, of course. Where else would I go?
Yes, indeed.
So it's all right then.
Do you know how much money I had when I came to this house?
You told us you had £1,000.
And how much is the Madden one?
Well, she hasn't anything.
And you expect me to hand over the reins after my 25 years to a slip of a girl without a brown penny to her pocket?
Well, no.
And what do you expect?
Well, I could stay here with you. A temporary thing. I could work away on the farm for my wages until...
Until I keep the bucket, is that it?
No, that isn't it. Look, all I want to do is get married. There's nothing exorbitant about that.
Well, you can tell her to find a fortune of £1,500 and I'll consider her proposal.
But she hasn't got that kind of money, and neither do I. At this rate of going, I'll be waiting forever to get married.
But you'll go on and marry for love, then.
But I've no money.
You don't need money when you marry for love.
So you say.
You're only 24. Your father was 35 when he married, and there were some who considered him young.
Oh, come on, Mother, give me a break. I'm in love with the girl. She's a good girl. You'd like her.
I'd like her a lot better if she had 1,500.
What am I going to do?
Forget it for now, is my advice, and we think about it again.
Will you consider it some other time?
I'll go. Stay where you are.
Do you believe her?
Oh, I believe her all right. If Mary Madden can't put down the money, our mother won't let her darken the door.
No, I mean about the will.
Oh, I believe her all right. She did say it would be easy enough to find her out. I believe her. She once told me the worst thing about telling a lie wasn't that it was a sin, but it was such a waste of effort trying to wriggle out of it when you were found out.
My father promised me the farm.
Nick says she's to be divided.
'Twas promised to me.
Is that why you sang dumb when Nick asked you to go away with him? So you could have it all to yourself.
Nick can make up his own mind. It's nothing to do with me.
He's your brother. Are you just going to...
We've had enough fighting for one day. It's best if we all mind our own affairs.
Well, you're a cool one. I'll say that to you. But you haven't a hope in hell getting married unless my mother can jingle out the wedding march with the Maddens. 1,500.
You're a shag off. Now that the old fella is dead, there'll soon be a stop put to your gallop. This time last year, you got everything your own way. And the rest of us mightn't have even been here for all he cared.
Oh, stop fighting it. It's getting us nowhere.
Where's there to get? Here, give us a feck.
in Christ's name did he have to sign everything over to her?
A year ago. And he never let on.
A year ago. Mal Saunders!
What about her?
What, do you remember the time she caught him with Mal?
What? I don't believe that. I don't believe he had anything to do with Maud Saunders.
But do you remember, our beloved mother was supposed to go to see that doctor in Dublin? Well, she left here in a hired car at 8 o'clock one night. She was to stay overnight. You two and Mick had gone into town to a dance. I was in bed early that night because I was dying from the night before.
I remember.
But she didn't go to Dublin at all. She got the driver to turn around after dark and she came straight back here. Oh God, if I should known, I could have tipped my father off.
You knew Maud was with him.
Well, I knew she had called to see him just after I went to bed, but I knew nothing else. It could have been for anything. It could have been for the loan of money. I mean, you all know he couldn't say no. And besides, her husband was in England and he wasn't sending her anything.
You'd swear black and white to save him.
I would. And what about it?
Shut up, Kurt. Get on with the story.
Mal arrived around 10 o'clock. They spoke in whispers, but I knew who it was. About 20 minutes after Mal's arrival, I heard some tiptoeing past my door and went on up the stairs to my father's room.
My mother?
I opened my door and I peeped out, and I saw the back of her just outside my father's door. I nearly dropped dead, but there was nothing I could do. She burst in the door and caught them, red-handed.
Can you be sure?
Look, I saw Mal Saunders running down the stairs in her pelt, and my mother after her.
He was nothing but an animal.
Shut up. I didn't blame him.
You're as bad as him.
For the love of God, my mother didn't sleep with him for years. And when she did, I doubt if he was any good to him.
Here now, I'm not going to let you talk like that.
And grow up. I was at Clonarna races with him once, and he was in the bar swapping yarns with a crowd of his cronies. I remember him to say that he was married for 18 years and he never once saw his wife naked.
I'm not listening. Stop her, Mark. This is an awful way to go.
The matter with you is that you never tried to understand my father. And those men in the bar that night had the same story. I didn't know I was listening. The wives were too damn good. They thought it was a sacrilege to fornicate with their own husbands.
I've given you up long ago. But I never dreamed a girl of your upbringing could even think like that, let alone talk. You're past understanding.
Well, maybe I am. But I'm not deaf and I'm not blind to what's happening about me like the two of you are.
I'm not listening to any more of this.
Suit yourself.
Was that what led to him signing everything over to her?
Of course it was. I know that he went on an awful booze after that again.
I remember that. And I remember Darcy called and went upstairs with Byrne and my mother.
But that's it. Byrne was the witness. Oh God, she has us where she wants us now. Here she comes.
Oh, nearly go down to the door. She'd pray for the deceased and say at the stations, which would take her a lot less time than she kept me at the door. Well, there's no need to ask what you were talking about. But I can tell you that your conversation is as big a waste of time as mine was with Nellie.
Look, Mother, I'll go upstairs and I'll have a chat with Mick. See if I can talk some sense into him.
Oh, that's it.
And you'll definitely consider what I asked you some other time.
Oh, trust me, Morris. For years before he died, your father drank and spent most of what we made here. It couldn't go on. I had to stop it. We'll work hard now and get the place going again. Go on now. God is good.
You haven't an earthly notion for letting him marry that bird. Why didn't you tell him the truth?
Yeah, he is over it. Besides, he's a good worker and help is hard to get. There's plenty of time for him to marry.
Jesus, you're a hair kiss.
Dare you take the holy name in my presence?
'Twas from you I picked it up.
I let that ball over the bar for the moment. I'll tell you what the arrangements I have for you shot there. I'd drive some of the steam out of your engine.
Can't wait.
You'll be sorry you said that.
Free country, you know.
You will, or I'll strike you. Gert, you to leave the kitchen and come into the shop with me. Unless you plan to get married too.
Oh no, I'd see more of Crawford's traveller in the shop, wouldn't I?
You like him, don't you?
He's a lamb.
He's a good looking scoundrel, all right. Give him that. Now you can talk away to him in the shop, but otherwise you're to have nothing to do with him. You hear?
I hear.
Good.
I'd like to ask a question.
Go on.
Well, if Gert is to go into the shop, and you and I are already in the shop, who's going to do the kitchen?
As you compose yourself. I'm coming to that in a minute. You think I make up these arrangements on the spur of the moment?
Well, we don't want 3 of us in the shop.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. So I've decided that you to do the kitchen.
Not a hope.
You'll do the kitchen. Gert deserves a turn in the shop.
I won't do the kitchen.
I've no intention of making a game of this. You're too old for this. I will, and I want business. From tomorrow morning, you start work in the kitchen. And if you don't, I'll send you from this house a pauper. How would you like that?
I could always make a living.
Oh, I'm sure you could.
God, now we're getting innuendos. Could you tender an addition to that implication?
Will you take it now, or wait till you get it? Ah, you were long coming back. Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing?
Getting a few pounds. It's me due.
Don't leave, Mick. Don't give it to her. Just what she wants.
Keep out of it.
How much is here? £100. £120.
There's £97 in cash.
Don't touch that money.
Keep back, or I swear to God, I'll hit you a bit.
If you don't put back that money this instant, you'll never darken the door of this house again.
Don't worry, you'll hear no more from me.
I mean it, Mick.
And I mean it.
Nick, just remember, wherever you go, you'll never do better than home.
I need a loan of your car to take me to the station. You can collect it in the morning.
You're welcome. The keys are in it. Good luck, darling.
Goodbye, kids.
Is it gone for good? Never mind that for the present. Now see the trouble my family is causing me. And you can forget your car too if the kitchen doesn't suit you.
It's my car.
And who pays the tax and the insurance? Who buys the petrol? It's the property of the house.
You wouldn't take away my car.
My car, unless you do the kitchen. Kitchen will do you good. I've big plans for you.
Get one thing into your head right now, my mother. You will not dominate me.
Well, you know what you can do, don't you? You can blow any time you want. If you won't do what you're told, I don't want you around here.
All right. I'll call your bluff. Start in the kitchen tomorrow morning.
You can stay there. I'm not finished with you yet. Our little confidence is only beginning. You go back to the kitchen, put on the fry for me, and see you done burger rashers like you did this morning. Move! Sit there. First things first. Did Johnny Cannon propose to you a year ago?
He did.
Is he still to the good?
He is.
Is he still interested?
He is, but I'm not.
Why didn't you tell me the time he proposed to you?
It wasn't important. And besides, I turned him down. He's not my type.
You'll marry him. And you'll marry him within 3 months, what's more.
You're a howl.
Laugh where you can.
I left before this, you know.
Katie, you're 22 years of age and you haven't a penny to your name without my say-so. You'll marry him.
I told you before, he's not my type.
Oh, and what is your type?
I don't know what you mean.
Oh, I think you do, Katie.
This is worse than a courtroom.
The night of the primary social, you went to the dance with Gert.
Well, so did 300 or 400 other girls.
Oh, we'll forget about those. It's you and Gert that concern me. You sat beside Gert throughout the dinner. And after the dinner, you went to the public bar.
I did. But if you already know this, why do you need to ask me?
See this bush?
I do.
As sure as your father's in his grave tonight, I'll break across your back if you give me another single word of back chat.
Yes, mother.
Now, you went to the public bar.
Yes, mother.
With whom did you go, Katie?
Gert told you.
You did not tell me. Gert doesn't know. Now, with whom did you go to the bar?
Leave me alone, can't you? I'm all torn up after the dinner, and I can't take any more of it.
Tell me the name of the man who was with you.
What man?
His name.
Toss Mitch.
Tosmich.
Yes.
Was his wife with him? No. When did you first meet him?
Last year at another social.
So you know him a year.
Yes.
And how many times before the social did you meet him?
4 or 5 times.
That night in the public bar, how many drinks had you?
Just a few. 2 or 3.
You had 6 cans of gin. Now, at 11:30, this married man booked a room in the hotel and went upstairs immediately. After he left, what did you do?
I had an answer to.
And after that,
I went upstairs to go to the ladies' cloakroom.
what was the ladies' cloakroom downstairs?
It was crowded, mad. I tried to get in a few times, but it was next to impossible.
So how long were you in the upstairs ladies' cloakroom?
It was before 12 when I came down, I'm sure of that.
It wasn't. You came down at 5 minutes to 2, just before the social ended.
It's a lie! It's a lie!
No, it isn't. You went upstairs at 11:45, and you came downstairs at 5 minutes to 2. Now, what were you doing for 2¼ hours?
Nothing, I was doing nothing, Mother.
Katie, you were seen. 2 days after that night, I got an anonymous letter from someone who signed themselves a friend. Now, what were you doing for 2¼ hours?
Nothing, I tell you, nothing.
You went into the room whom I meant, and you were with me for 2¼ hours. Now, what were you doing? What were you doing? Have I raised a whore? Have I raised a whore? Tell me what you were doing, or I'll beat you so your own sister will know you.
I was committing a sin with him.
No, I can't hear.
I was committing a sin with him.
And it wasn't the first time.
No. No, I couldn't help myself.
Get up, will you? Get up and act like a woman.
Sure you won't beat me.
I won't beat you. I was mistaken about you. I thought you were more brazen, more of a woman. You're still a child. Sit.
going to do with me?
Should I do anything with you when you've already disgraced yourself?
Will I be left stay here?
You will, under certain conditions.
I agree, Mother.
Since Johnny Connell proposed, has he been in touch with you?
He has tried. He sleuths always, and he wrote a few times.
You to write back to him and tell him that you'd like him to call, that you're down and out since the death of your father, and anything else that occurs to you. And you to bring me the letter before I put it in the envelope. If we play our part properly, he may propose to you again. Oh, and tell him from me, thanks for the mass card, that I really appreciate the thought. Will you tell him that, Katie?
Yes.
Before I forget it, first thing in the morning, go down to the station and collect your car.
Are you going somewhere?
No, I'm not going anywhere. But it suddenly occurred to me that it's about time I learned to drive.
Butter, sugar, bacon, tea, sugar soap, washing soap, bread. Did I give you the tobacco?
You did get it. I have it here in my pocket. Are you all right?
I am, thanks.
Are you sure?
Thanks, I can handle it.
I'm all.
Would you mind watching the shop for a few minutes? I just want to check these prices with my mum.
Oh, fire away. But don't be too loud now. I have work to do. Oh, Gert, will you tell your mother I was asking for her?
I will, I'll be back in a jiff.
Good morning. Not bad. Seems to be clearing. Nice enough outside.
Good clock.
That's right. Because I didn't know I was that well known.
Well, how are things around the country?
Things could be better, but then again, they could be worse. Is there anyone around?
Gert will be out in a minute. She got round the back to check some prices or some other. I tell you, it's all kinds of work.
Oh, all kinds. Believe you me, my friend, all
I
kinds.
can imagine.
You'd be amazed.
Admin is a job I wouldn't like.
But you don't know till you try.
I dare say that.
And it's got in shop now.
Yes, the last few months since the father died.
You went quick, didn't you?
All of a sudden, the heart.
The heart is the best way.
So this.
And the business, how is she doing since?
Fair enough. Well, mind you.
And the older girl, Katie, where is she now?
Married.
You're not serious.
A father, this is. That fella a few miles down the road. A big farmer.
That's hard to believe. I thought she'd knocked a few barrels over the wall before she did. I thank her.
It was a surprise, all right.
No, she was a lively.
Lively. Her husband's a very nice man. Bit advanced, of course. He'd want to get to good eye, if you know what I mean. You'd be a likelier man for having a crack as a target like Casey now.
And how do you know I can score a few bullseyes there in my day?
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be one bit surprised, my friend. Cheers, Gert.
Henry Keane, how are you?
Couldn't be better, Kurt. Couldn't be better. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, I'm good. I'll be with you in a minute. I just need to finish up here.
Okay.
The whole lot comes to £2 a month.
Well, did you tell her I was asking for her? Who? Your mother.
Oh, I did.
Well, what'd she say?
She laughed.
What kind of a laugh? Well, was it a long laugh or was it a sharp laugh? Was it a gay laugh or was it a wicked laugh?
She seemed to enjoy it.
How's business, Kurt?
It's not too bad. She's got a big order for you.
Great. That's what we like to hear.
Do you hear that, Mr. Byrne? He's such a charmer. He gets orders everywhere he goes.
It's the quality of the goods, Mr. Byrne. The quality of the goods, not me.
Go way out of that. They say he's a right ladies' man. They say he's more sex appeal than any other two travellers.
Oh, that's not black market. I could do with a bit of the sex appeal myself.
Teddy, when are you able to ask me out?
Oh, that's a horsewhip me.
Oh no, she lets me out now. She lets me go where I want and with whom. She knows I'm sensible.
If you're serious, I'll ask you out some night.
Oh, I'm serious. It was always Katie he noticed before Mr. Byrne. He used to call me the baby.
Oh, she's not baby now, my friend. But you have the equipment to feed one.
I couldn't disagree with you there.
You said a few minutes ago you had work to do.
Oh, I get the message. I won't stand in the way of romance. But I tell the two of ye, there's one thing for your own good before I go. Don't be too hasty to say anything to Maggie. She'd be slower than the parish priest to give her blessing to what doesn't suit her.
Don't take any notice of him. He's nice, really.
Were you serious about me asking you out?
Oh, I am.
I asked you out long ago, but I didn't want to cross your mother.
Oh, are you afraid of her too?
Being afraid of her has nothing to do with it. Just she's one of my best customers and I don't want to fall out with her. You have to be cautious in my job. What time would you like me to call tonight?
Tonight? Oh, whenever time suits.
Well, after the post goes, I'm free. Any time after that.
Would 7:30 be all right?
I'll be here. What about your mother?
Oh no, she likes you. Now she knows you're a playboy who wants watching. But she likes you all right. Where will you take me?
Wherever you like.
I don't mind.
What time will I call? Anytime.
7:30.
I-
Oh, no, you won't get fresh with me, will you? I wouldn't like that. I'm not that kind. You'd better know in time.
I know that. That's why I've been so keen to ask you out.
The novelty, I suppose.
No. I think about you in a special way. I wouldn't do anything to hurt you.
Stop it, you idiot. You want someone to walk in.
I'm no saint, but you know that.
I've heard things.
But I wouldn't. You needn't worry, I won't harm hair in your head. I just want to be near you. To hear you laughing. Whisper. Something tells me you're a terrific whisper.
You're screaming.
Whisper. There's nothing I like nicer than a nice girl whispering. Whisper. Whatever you like. What? I'm shocked. Scandalized. How could you say such a thing?
But all I said was it's a nice day.
But that's just it. It's not just a nice day. It's a lovely day. It's a beautiful day. Do you know what day it is?
I do, it's Tuesday.
No. Today is the day that Dirk and Halpin had our first date with Teddy. Something nice.
Such as?
Such as like me. And I like you too. Those eyes are the eyes of a woman in love. But oh, how they give you away. I don't suppose you'd whisper, you love me?
Oh, it's a bit soon for that, isn't it?
I suppose it is. But when you say that, that will be the day that I will be a very happy fellow.
Be sure we're here to 7.
Is that an order?
It is.
Well, Miss Pulpin, it's the most valuable order I've had since I've become a commercial traveller. I suppose you intend to reform me.
I feel I should tell you it's the highest notion in my head.
I'm going to enjoy it. Come on. Give me a kiss. I could get free pair of garter.
We don't! Why did you tell us?
Raisins, the seedless ones. Did you get them in? You didn't have them the last time I was here. I like a bunsor with raisins in them.
There are your raisins. Enjoy the bone.
I've never seen this one.
As far as I know.
How much is that?
2 shillings.
And they're very cheap now, sir. When you consider the journey they came.
They are. Big nosy, isn't he?
Oh, the local encyclopedia. I'd swear he's a notion of my mother.
I go on.
I suppose I better call her for you.
Yes, better. I've a lot of calls to do and I haven't much time.
Mother! Mother Crawford's traveller is here.
You make me sound like a stranger.
You're anything but. She's
How
good.
is she?
Oh, she's good, you know. She drives now, you know.
And when did she learn?
Katie taught her before she got married.
Yes, your man was telling me about Katie's marriage.
Ah, sure. She's off in the wild ones, settle down quick once they make up their minds.
Is she happy?
She seems to be. He's very wealthy, you know. I wouldn't marry him, of course. He asked me once, the first time after Katie turned him down.
I wouldn't take no for an answer.
How do you know the answer would be no when you never asked?
Mrs. Heathen.
No,
Miss Heathen.
how are you?
Very well. Katie got married.
Oh, she did indeed. We'd have asked you to the wedding, only we decided to keep it strictly family after, so soon after the funeral.
Of course.
Oh, looking very well.
I must say, Mrs. Poppin, I've never seen you looking better. And that's not just sales talk.
Hear that, Gert? You're looking for an order already.
Seriously, Mrs. Poppin, I could do with the order. I'm behind schedule.
We would all here get out for you together with the check.
Very good.
Please, Gert, would you go back to the kitchen and keep an eye on the dinner like a good girl?
Bye, Teddy. See you later.
Here you are, Teddy.
Thank you.
Do you know, she's a wonder some nice girl hasn't spoke you up before this.
The right one hasn't come my way yet?
Would you grand chat with you before I came out?
Yes. She's a very nice girl.
She's young, Teddy.
She's a woman, Mrs. Poppin. Her seat.
Call me Maggie. We know each other a long time. And the size of the order you're after giving show you what we think of you here. I regard you as one of the family. And that's why I'm asking you to stay away from Gert.
You're making things very awkward for me.
I think we know each other a good deal. At least I know a lot about you. I know, for instance, that you're no cock virgin with innocent dreams of romance.
I thought you don't mince words.
I don't believe in mincing words.
So we can be candid. But how candid is the question?
Oh, be open as you like. That's the way I like it.
But the first part of what you said is true. But you're wrong in the second part. I'll be honest. I've asked Gert, would she like to come out with me tonight, and she's willing. And I'm glad, very glad, because I genuinely like Gert. What's more, I could easily fall in love with her.
You're good looking, and no doubt she finds you attractive. And I honestly can't blame her.
Thank you.
You really are attractive. And I can see how easy it would be for a woman to fall for you. She's too young, too assured and too experienced for my Gert. And you say you have honourable intentions towards her. Does that mean you intend to marry her?
Marry? Well, I haven't thought about marriage, but I suppose with a girl like Gert it would have to be, wouldn't it?
You mean she wouldn't allow you into bed with her unless you married her?
I wish I couldn't put it like that, but yes, I suppose so.
Let's be honest. Do you desperately want to go to bed with her?
Well, you're natural, if I loved her.
Boils down to the same thing, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. It's not just about sex. You wanted me to be honest with you, and I will. I fancied other women, and wanted to make love to them, and often did. But as far as sex, I was never really satisfied. I don't mean I was frustrated, but there was always something missing.
And you think that the something that's missing is a nice girl like Gert?
And yes,
So that's what you think of all the women that you slept with. They gave you a lot, and all you can say is that there was something missing.
oh, you make it sound different than it really is.
Well, it is your conscience, is that you?
That's not it exactly.
And what is it exactly?
You're blaming me for past mistakes.
I'm not. You know I'm not.
I'm not used to having a woman talk to me like this.
It seems to me that with all you women, you're not really very happy.
Meet a woman, make love to her, gone the next day. What is it all about? Each time I'd say, this is the last time. I promised myself, but I'm tempted. Maybe this time is the right one.
Gert?
Maybe not. Oh, she's a beauty, but Maybe I need somebody with somebody more mature. Yes. Can be a bit of a game sometimes.
Romance is only for the young ones, Teddy. I had my fair share of it. And then I married the wrong man. For 10 years he didn't sleep with me, and in the end I didn't want it. But it's a strange and terrible way for a healthy woman to live. I wouldn't tell you this, but I feel we understand each other.
10 years? That's a long time. And other times? I hate to see anyone unhappy. You're free now.
No, no, is that better than
Do
me?
whatever you want.
Oh, no, is that better than me?
I know, Maggie. There's no women, no other woman with your understanding and honesty. You won't mind if I say this. Sometimes a man and a woman have the same need, the same longing. It can happen quickly. They don't need any romantic games. They know. And sometimes a man sees a woman and wants her more than anyone. He wonders, does she think the same way?
She might. She might talk the same about him.
And how would you know?
Oh, that's for him to find out.
Maggie, I want to really, really understand you.
Oh, you really tell me.
Maggie, of all the times I've come in here and talked to you, I've never really known you until now. I don't know what it is about you. This isn't sales talk now, I mean this. But whatever it is, for once in my life, I'm not sure myself.
Oh, I want you to be yourself, Teddy.
When can I see you? Alone, I mean.
When do you want to see me?
Oh, the sooner the better. Tonight?
Tonight,
Tonight. Oh, whenever you say.
9 o'clock on the bed tomorrow Monday.
Oh, such a long time.
Come on.
Right. Okay. What about Gert?
Oh, let me worry about that. Her fancy's don't last long.
Surely I should tell her that I'm breaking our date off?
Oh, no, don't worry about it. I take care of everything. Now, you have your calls to finish. I don't want you to be late.
I won't be late. So tonight then?
Oh, tonight.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I was passing.
So I saw.
I came in.
Can I get you something?
Herself.
My mother.
Who else?
I'll call her. Mr. Barnes is here to see you. She'll be out in a minute. I'm just getting a few scoops of mail for the way to you. We're near closing.
Shop is doing well this past while.
Could be better.
And you're all in the farm.
Could be worse.
That's saying something these hard times.
Oh, hard times is right, according to my mother.
Oh, she knows best.
Oh, none better, according to herself.
Your mother is like strong medicine, Morris. Hard to take at times, but she'll do you good in the long run.
How long is the long run?
Oh, you're talking about little Madden one, aren't you? Oh, she's a lovely little girl. I just see the two of you heading off to Kelvy's good of an evening.
Sometimes you do see too much.
Could be. It happens that I have more time in my hands now with the style of the tombstones getting smaller. I like to sit at the graveyard wall of an evening, remembering past generations, contemplating the present, and having a shot at where the future will come from.
It's easy for you to make jokes. But if you were in my shoes, you'd be wondering if there's going to be a future generation at all.
If I was in your shoes, boss, I'd learn to lace them up myself, and I'd have my mother always tying them for me.
You don't know my mother.
I wasn't talking about your mother, boss. I was talking about you.
I did. Would you like it signed by the Minister for Agriculture?
Well, if men keeping the book straight for the taxman, I would. Well, Paul.
Good evening, Maggie.
Oh, good evening to you too. Was that you I saw walking up and down past the door earlier?
Could be.
What's the matter now?
I won't put a toe to it. I've come to lay my cards on the table.
Oh, you have to postpone that game, Burn. I'm otherwise engaged as of now.
I'll only keep for 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Oh, okay, far away.
Oh no, don't hang up the chance. I don't know where to begin.
Well, for a beginning, I may tell you, you've been doing an awful lot of arsing around here lately.
I suppose it's fair to say I've been spending more time than I should.
I've noticed you the past few weeks, like a gander, that you wanted to get loose.
That's one way of putting it.
Only the other night I said to myself, Gordon is looking all hot and bothered. He's behaving more like a jackdaw than a monumental sculptor.
All right, you've had your say, now 'tis my turn. I have £4,000 in the bank.
Well, I'm not surprised. The prices you charge for him.
I'm a temperate man, but I take a drink should the occasion call for it. And I have no objection to a woman taking a drink either. I'm a steady worker, and there's good demand for my work. I'm a good Catholic, and I does the 9 Fridays, and I never miss Mass in my life. And I'm told by people around this every year I make enough to keep a family in comfort. And I'm told by people around these parts that I'm the best monumental sculptor around.
Wait, you're a monumental Aegis, if you ask me.
Well, you were born to.
Really? I'm born to what?
Marry me.
Marry you?
Yes.
Will you act like the Zoomborn?
The year of the Eucharistic Congress 1932, I was in Dublin. I was a fine young man then. But what's the zoo got to do with it?
Well, if you were at the Zoomborn, you know what a baboon is.
I think so.
Well, good for you, because Born, I'd sooner be buckled to a baboon than be buckled to you.
Oh, you're an insulting woman. A baboon and so Lord bother ease. No self-respecting mother of a monkey would allow her son to be married to the likes of you.
You gave me my answer. I'll give you that one.
Die, Maggie, and I'll give you a Celtic cross for free.
I just got at the pause of the marriage.
Did you say yes?
I've had my fair course of marriage, thank you.
Where's Gert?
She's gone to see Katie.
Was she disappointed when I didn't come?
Oh, very. Oh, I like a man who's punctual.
Maggie, I've been thinking about you all day. I made so many mistakes when I was talking my returns in the hotel. That's something I never do. God, I missed you.
Oh, I'm not places.
I've waited here long enough. Can we go upstairs?
We're all nice. Oh, come here, come here.
Was this the reason you sent me to Katie's with the groceries? Do you know what she did? She asked me to go to Katie's with the groceries. She told me to hurry back. There was something else she wanted me for. Well, I knew you played around, but I had no idea you'd stoop to something like this.
Kurt, please.
Two-faced isn't the word for you. And as for you, Mother, you let him kiss you?
Aren't you forgetting something?
What do you mean?
I'm single the same as you.
I hate you.
Any girl with a grain of sense would thank me.
If you just go and wait, you'll make a complete wreck of your life.
And what makes you think it isn't wrecked now?
Yeah, a small scratch is all you got. To be eaten weak at your age.
You're welcome to him. The two of you. You're both rotten.
Gert, please, believe me, Gert. You shouldn't have done that.
Do you think I like doing it?
Christ, that was a cruel thing to do.
She'd get over it. At least you won't travel the same road I did. And you won't have the chance to treat her like the dust under your feet. The man I married behaved exactly the same as you're behaving now. Oh, everyone told me he'd change, but he didn't. If anything, he got worse.
You made a fool out of me.
You did it to yourself. You think every woman is dying to fall into your arms.
You shamed me. Whatever I am, or whatever I was, no one has a right to do that to another human being.
Don't give me that tripe about human beings. That's the biggest lie of all. If a man or woman hasn't self-respect, they have nothing. And you should know that. Because you are nothing. You have nothing. And God pity you. You'll never win.
Every step of the way.
The whole lot amounts to £6 more than 7 pence.
I'll pay you now. Get yourself a call for them tonight. You'll throw off the 1 and 7 pence anyway.
I throw off nothing. I look at the shop, not the leaving office.
Well, what will you do with all the money you have?
I have no money.
Stop.
I have no money. Right my head. How could I have money? With the supermarket sprouting like daisies.
There's no one your match.
Oh. You know, if I was looking from here to doomsday at him, I couldn't make out who takes after.
There's no telling at that age. He's like his father sometimes. And sometimes he's like his mother.
Well, I happen to know the mother. Maybe he's like the father, but I wouldn't know anything about that, would I?
God almighty, you're a terrible woman.
Katie, you'd want to have the character of St. Bridget in this country to get away with a 7-month birth.
Meaning what?
Meaning, you know St. Bridget. What are you reading, child?
For the pasteurised, of course.
There's no nature in children since they stopped the breastfeeding. Women these days don't know what tits are for. Every child is fed to the breast.
Well, if you were fed from the breast, Mother Wine, it didn't give you much nature.
And two of yours will get you into trouble one of these days. It's a wonder that husband of yours doesn't take a stick to you.
If he did, cripple him with a poker.
I don't doubt it.
Did you hear anything from Gert since she left?
Not a word.
Morris had a letter from her.
Well, if he had, he didn't say it.
She told him in the letter to tell you nothing.
What's she at?
Well, she's doing nursing, and she's in a flat with Mick.
Nursing? Oh, wasn't I for her good?
What happened the night she ran away?
Well, it was the beginning of her education. I gave her the matriculation, you might say. It was the best schooling she'll ever get.
She left in a terrible hurry. Maybe it was a bit too severe.
Nothing is too severe for what she'd meet in this world.
And have you any notion of letting Morris get married?
To the madman, is it?
Who else?
The day she lobs up £1,500 on this counter, I'll be the first woman to dance at her wedding.
Mary Madden is a nice girl, and Morris has his heart set on her.
Pass that information on to the bank manager and see what you'll get for it.
I'm telling you in time, Morris won't wait much longer. He's been pushed as far as he'll go.
Well, Bonnie, I thought we'd never again see you here.
I'm like my monuments, Maggie, to take more than no gale of wind to flatten me. How are you, Casey?
I'm fine, Mr. Byrne, thank you. How's yourself?
Oh, carrying the day as best I can. Maggie would have given me out a half a quarter to back there. Is that little gossip? God, loving it, it's dodgy. What is the pure special, Casey? God,
Thank you, Mr. Byrne. Have you any notion of getting any of you girls to help you?
My experience of girls is they only come in the way.
Very funny. You never manage all the work alone.
And then the man money in, is it?
Oh, she's a top and worker mother and a marvelous
Well, if she is, she won't milk my cows. In the honour of God, Burton, will you pass the child a pound or two? Did you see him with his lousy half-crown given to the child?
silver is the done thing.
Well, if that's your case, show up a fiver here and I'll change it into silver for you.
You're very free with other people's money. I bet you weren't that floor shop with the child yourself.
good for you, Byrne.
God bless all here. Could a pound of sugar, Mrs. Please?
Shut up. Get your sugar and get your tea. There's no profit in sugar. There's your apple bar.
Would you look at the small child? Well.
Is it a violent girl?
That was no way to talk to the old people. What to be shamed.
The same applies to yourself if you don't like the situation here.
Oh God, this is what you have to like, Stuart.
I don't want it, dealing with the likes of you.
Ah, he's a healthy little rascal, Finch. What do you call him?
He's called Michael, after his uncle Mick.
Ah, Mick, how's Mick doing?
Very well, thank you.
And Gert, what way is she?
Oh, she's your nurse.
Ah, a nurse is very handy. No family should be without a nurse.
And yourself, Mrs. How are all?
Fine, thank you.
Has the child here a sign of a tooth yet?
Shut up, Father Basil, stop adding us. If you want any more information, buy the paper.
Ah, come on away, woman. Well, if there's one consolation, he don't look a bit like his grandmother.
You had that coming.
Them two came in for gossip. It is their passport into the public house. Well, Gordon, do you want any more messages?
Oh, no, sorry, I got my messages. Good luck, Casey. It's lovely to see you. By the way, Maggie, that offer I made you still stands.
Like the monuments you're always boasting about, 'twill be standing forever.
What does he mean by that?
He wants to marry me.
Stop.
He proposed.
If he's any sense, he'll stay single.
Maybe it is your own story you're telling.
What difference does it make to me now? I'm tied and damn all I can do about it. Still, it could be worse. I have my own car, and I have the money. I'm independent, and that's more than most wives have.
And you have that servant boy drooling at you like a stud greyhound. What you said to that fella, it wouldn't be long cooling your radiator.
I can't help it if I excite his interest.
Cut that out. I'm still capable of coming around the counter and putting you in your place.
You wouldn't dare touch me now, my mother.
I'll touch you if I see the need for it. Be certain of that.
Well, what really brought me here this evening was to talk to you about Morris.
You ever learn to mind your own business?
But he asked me, and I made him a promise I'd talk to you. One so. But my Johnny would secure him for the money if you hand over the place. What kind of lead did you take me for? I haven't the place a year yet, and you want me to hand it over already? Well, it's not fair to Morris, mother. How could he pay you back the money he borrowed if he wasn't boss?
And it's less fair to me, Katie. And as far as I can see, everyone is very anxious to forget about that.
Here, will you give us a fake?
Where are you going? You've more than I have.
Well,
I've done my best, Morris.
Mother, a year ago, you asked me to wait. You said God was good. Well, God has turned out to be no good. But maybe that's because you're not giving him much of a chance.
I can't understand the awful rush that's on to get married. I look after you well, don't I? No, if I was dead, you'd be the woman here to help you run the place, and there'd be some sense to that. But there's no sense at all to this calibre.
You asked me to wait, and I've waited a whole year. And meaning no disrespect, I'd much rather be looked after by Mary Madden than by you.
Wait just one more year, and we'll see what way the land lies.
But that's what you said last year. And by the looks of it, that's what you'll be saying every year, until I'm an old man.
I know I asked you to wait, and I'm asking you to wait again. Try to have patience.
My patience is at an end.
I'm for your good. Must I always be telling you that? For your good I am. You listen to my advice, Morris. You won't be in such a rush to give up your freedom. It is only now I know what freedom is.
I can't wait any longer. Unless you give me permission, I'll join Mick and Gert over in England. 'Tis no bother to get married there.
Oh, no bother at all. And less bother to live in one dirty room all your life. What sort of a job do you think you'll get? You've no training except for the pick and shovel. Here, you're the same as the best in the land when something is taught to you.
Johnny Conlon will put up the security for the money that you want. He'll do it the minute you give the go-ahead.
And then let Dan Madden's snotty-nosed daughter in here to take over. Nothing doing. It isn't the Colleen Barn you're playing with.
All I know is I'm in love with Mary Madden and I want to marry her.
And will you still be in love with her when she's trying to rear 3 or 4 children in the corner of a flat? When she starts to get fat and irritable? When her teeth start getting bad and her belly is swollen and her nose starts to run?
Don't say that.
And every one of her mother's seed and breeded snotty noses and big fat sides like bullocks.
Jesus! I don't have to listen to this.
You have 4 or 5 kids and the money starts to run short. You'll remember me and your fine car and your wardrobe of clothes and you'll curse Mary Madden for the conniving little vixen that she is. What makes you think that she sees anything in you? If you were a labouring man, she wouldn't even pass you the time of day.
You'll get no one to work as I did. Who's going to look after the land and milk the cows?
I'll sell the cows and let the land. You'll be the one to lose, not me.
I've given my whole life to this farm, and this is what I get in the end.
Morris, I'm not forcing you to leave, but you'll have to choose between me and Mary Madden.
Mother, he means what he's saying.
So do
I'm going out now to tidy up the yard. And that's the last stroke of work you'll ever get out of me.
God, but your heart. 'Tis the hardness of concern. Always remember that about me.
To be fair to you, there's an element of truth in what you said to him.
My first convert. No, I'm not.
Things can be like you say, but they needn't be if you just let him stay here. Mick is gone, Gert is gone, and now Morris is going, and he won't come back.
Have a good look in. See, can you see any tears on my face?
But you'll be all alone here, completely alone, Mother.
marrying Gordon. He's £4,000 in the bank.
Don't be ridiculous.
What's ridiculous about it? Gordon won't live forever. And when he goes, there's plenty left for another one after him.
You're not serious.
Go on, girl. Go home with you and cook your husband's supper.
Mother, but do you have any feeling at all for Morris?
I have. I have it for all of you. That's why I never let you have your own way. If I hadn't love, I wouldn't care. Amazing. Just one more card, please. Will you get me the packet thing like a good girl? And for the love of God, don't announce me. Ha, I know. The whole country is looking for the hood. And I know why. So be nice and shy and pass him over to me like without a word. I wonder. Hello? Oh, hello, Packer. I'm fine, thank you, Packer. But I'd be a lot finer if you paid your bill. Last month you said you'd send it tomorrow. And the month before you said you'd send it tomorrow. It's 6 months now, and as far as I can see, you have no intention whatsoever of paying it. I'll spare you the price of the stamp. I'll be over in half an hour, and you'll never have it for me. I've heard all that before. And if Mary Josephine is pregnant again, it isn't me that's to blame for it. Oh, so we all know you can't take blood from a turnip, but it would be an easy matter for me to drive a cow from your stall. Oh, all right, I'll give you 1 hour. But if you're not over by then, I'll be over to you and I'll note you. Oh, and good luck to you too, bye.
Good evening, Mrs. Pulpin.
Evening.
I suppose you don't know me?
How do you know I don't?
Well, we've never met before.
That's true.
I was going to sympathise with you at the graveyard when your husband died, but I didn't want to be forward.
I'll be with you in a minute.
I suppose I'd better introduce myself.
No, not it. To tell you the God's honest truth, I was kind of expecting you.
Were you? I suppose I should have called before this, but I'm terribly shy. It was in my head to call several times, but every time I'd start out, something always stopped me. Sure, I don't know what it was. I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Down here. It's a good look at you.
I'm astonished that you should know me, especially since you've never laid eyes on me before.
Oh, I had a good look at you when you came into the shop. And says I to myself, who's this one now? Before I had that phone down, I knew you and I knew your business. This is Mary Madden, I said to myself. And by all the laws, her mother isn't far behind.
She's outside, talking to Morris. They made me come. I didn't want to come, they made me. Maybe you shouldn't have come at all. But it had to be done, I suppose.
Well, don't upset yourself, child. You came as soon as you could. You must be 3 or 4 months gone now. It's the only card you have. You're a child. 3 or 4 months, or maybe 2. Come on, Leah, you can tell me.
How did you know?
Anyone would know. It's what I call the inevitable.
What do you mean? The inevitable?
When you don't show, you do that. You can't hide it forever, can you?
No, I can't.
God help this child, you can't. But it must be no fun carrying a child without a license.
You're not angry, so?
Angry? Why should I be angry? What has it got to do with me? I've no right to be angry with you.
Oh, so that's the way, is it?
Oh, that's the way it is. Whenever I see a poorly off slip of a young girl, like yourself now, knocking around with a well-off young lad like my Morris, I'll be on the lookout for it, so to speak.
I can see I get no sympathy from you.
If sympathy was what you wanted, I'd give you an ass load of it. But I'm feeling you're here for more than sympathy.
God, you're clever.
You shouldn't put all your eggs in the one basket. And I'd be in a right way now. If I'd signed over to Morris before this, I'd be a walking tragedy girl, depending on the likes of you for my breakfast, supper and tea, and afraid of my sacred life for fear I'd say something or do something to offend your ladyship.
That's not true at all.
Ah, God bless you. I've seen innocent poor bitches pressurised into handing over to daughters-in-law. Mighty Amazons of women that built empires to hand it all over, to be reduced to dirt, be reduced to scutter.
Stop exaggerating.
Wouldn't it be a marvellous victory now? Think of it. You could be the lady of the manor, and you could have the mother here to advise you, and your young sisters to help you run the shop, and those wasters of brothers of yours running around the farm. Was that what you wanted?
I wanted Morris. I want him more than ever now. And what's his by right?
Oh, you tried hard all along, but then you thought of the final number. And then you figured that I was no sap on the road. So you knew you had to go for a goal if you were to have a chance.
What people say about you is true. I'm going out, and I'll send my mother into you.
Did you weigh up the odds well, did you, before you decided to surrender? And what were the odds? This house, this farm, and all that go with it for a minute's madness in the back of a motor car. Oh, I know you in time well, you brazen bitch. And I'll wipe the floor with you before I give you the washing of the plate here.
By Jesus, you won't wipe the floor with me. I'll tell you that much. I'm not one of your children, your softies that can be bullied or frightened.
Oh, I know that. And I knew it all along, the way you held on to him. Oh, you've gumption to get what you want. But by the Lord God, you won't get it from me.
Don't be so sure of that.
And don't go too far with me. Because as soon as I look at you, I give you a pound weight between the eyes, and there's no one that would blame me. I'm entitled to respect under my own roof.
You're right. I shouldn't talk back to you in your own house.
And I am the lucky woman, though, haven't I? That it is my own house. You'd give me short shrift if I signed over to Morris.
Maybe we started off on the wrong foot.
It's not the way we started that's important, my girl. It's the way we finish.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. My mother has something to say to you.
You should have brought your grandmother too.
Well,
It's like talking to a brick wall, Mom.
by Jesus, she has bargained for Hannah Man. Leave it, Mr. Man.
You get nowhere with her.
We'll see about that. Well, Maggie Pulpin, have you decided what you're going to do about my daughter?
She's your daughter, man.
Answer my question, Maggie Pulpin. What do you intend to do about my daughter?
As I said before, my good woman, she's your daughter.
But your son is to be the father of her child.
That's his lookout, not mine.
I'm not leaving here without a settlement. We have a right to that.
You have a right to nothing.
Come down off your high horses, missus, or you will be the sorry woman. I'm telling you now, and I'm giving you advance notice
that you're up against the wrong crowd in the Matins. The grass will grow on the road to your house in your shop from the boycotting we'll give you.
You boycott me and let a member of your family stand outside my shop. And I'll fix it quick. Do you see this? Oh, Jesus. Let any one of you breed come within an ass's roar of my shop, and you'll be picking buckshot out of their asses for the next 10 years.
There's no point in going anywhere with her. I know her. I should have known better than to expect you to have any success with her. We'll be in England in a week, and we'll be married. And I'll never set foot in this house again.
I'm not yielding an inch till she does the right thing by my daughter that I reared well. I didn't rear her for England.
Moms, you've any sense. You'll have no more to do with that gang. Break with them now, boy. She's the last chance you'll ever have.
But what about the child?
Mrs. Madden figured that one out. We don't bother her.
Mrs. Madden! Have you any consideration at all? Have you no feelings? You're driving me out of my father's house, out of the home where I was born and reared. I hate going. I hate it. I hate it. I'm a grown man, and yet I have nothing. No money, no land, no home. And who do I have to thank for it all? My own mother.
Morris, I'm not forcing you to go.
You have an answer for everything. I'll go around and get the car and I'll take you home. I won't be a minute.
Now I see what you're really like. I'll give him the happiness you never gave him.
Morris was happy before you ever came along. But you came around him nicely between the pair of you. Oh, Jesus, I heard you were rough, Maggie Halpin. And I heard you were tough. But hard is what you really are. You're as hard as nails. I swear there isn't a belly in the hospitals of Ireland that would throw out a gallstone half as hard as you. I'm sick of it. The cheek of you to come barging like a circus elephant into my house. I wouldn't waste my breath on you. Come on.
If he ever gives in the years ahead, and wants to come and see you, I'll stop him. And when you're on your deathbed, I'll stop him. And I'll get him to stop the others too. I can do it.
I know you can. But the devil use any of them will be to me. Because I'll be on my deathbed. I'm alone now, but I'm free. And not too many women can say that. I need to be alone, and that's the beauty. A woman need never be alone, so long as men crave what she has, and that never gives out. When I married, God help me, I was only a slip of a thing. I hadn't an idea what I was facing. You'd think someone would have warned me. Oh, they all stood back and let me go ahead. Marriage is the only safe place for a young girl, they said. You'll have a home and you'll have security. My marriage was a lifelong battle, with me always on the defensive, and my husband trying to bend my will from the beginning. Oh, there were words of love, blandishments. Didn't he call me a fair mare one time when he drove? Think my love life, already trimmed and stunted to the marrow, would have no more to endure. But the awful truth was that my sex life, my morals, My thought, word and deed were dominated by a musty old man with a black suit and a Roman collar and a smell of snuff. Oh, I was suffocated by the presence of that old man. He sat in his confession box, withering, and me, not knowing where to turn for guidance. Do you know, my husband never saw me naked. I must have seemed as frigid and cold to him as a frozen lake. How could I thaw my upbringing and my faith, my holy, holy faith? Maybe that was what drove him into the arms of Moll Saunders and God knows how many others. My body said one thing, but my faith said another, and my instincts were no match for that faith. I should have been singing with love, tingling. My love never grew, which is a wonder I didn't surrender entirely to insanity in a country where it was a mortal sin to even think about another man. And there was another man. He was dark-eyed and quiet. He'd pass me 100 times on the road and he'd say, "How are you there, Maggie?" And he'd give one of the cows he was driving a little tip in the back with his ash plant. And I'd say, "Fine, thank you, Martin." And he passed on. I saw him blush once, but he never uttered one word of love to me in all those years. And I longed for him. I craved him in my dreams, and I'd thinking how lovely it would be to walk with him through the dewy fields. But he did blush, and yet I never beamed at him, or set my cap for him, or held his hand, or winked at him, or even gave him the faintest clue as to the names I called him in those dreams, and we cuddled together. But he's dead now, that easy-going man, and my husband is dead. All too soon I'll be dead. I can have anything I want, for a while anyway. By the Lord God, I can have any man in Ireland. If there's a man I fancy, he fancies me. There's still time to fulfil myself. The wheel of the chastity cord is still around my belly, the incense in my nostrils. I'm too long a prisoner. But I can say what I can, while I can, and let the lashed owl be the sorest.
Now we have a lady behind the curtain there. Elizabeth, would you come out here, please? Let's hear it from Big Maggie, who's